Who you are today is a result of what you did yesterday, and what's happening tomorrow is a result of what you are doing today. Hello to my handsome, amazing, beautiful champion community. This is your favorite host, Vaibhav Nahata, and together I am so damn excited. In today's episode of Being Champions, you can see who we have with us. Someone really special, someone you have been admiring, someone whose video I'm sure you might have watched in Facebook, someone who has been bringing a damn amazing impact. Let me please welcome BTM Manchi in a wonderful episode of Being Champions. Ma'am, welcome to you with a wonderful clap for viewers and from my end as well for the amazing work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Thanks a lot. It's really, really nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, so my dear champions, you have been watching the video about the special things about Nepal, why you should not visit Nepal and all that stuff. We'll go into a lot of things. You might have seen her in that video, but she's doing some amazing work. We'll talk about that, but let us begin with what you have seen already. You came up with a video of sharing how Nepal is amazing in a completely different way. How did the idea of that come up? How did you write into it? Did you expect it to be damn viral and stuff?
Absolutely not, Vaibhav. This is a great question, and a lot of people have been asking me this for a while. And I'd like
Uh-huh.
to answer it in two parts. Number one, many years ago, I had read an article about why you should not visit France. And this article spoke about ultimately all the wonderful things of France. So what happened was this was also playing on the reverse psychology bit. So that
Uh-huh.
is sort of something I had somewhere at the back of my mind. However, what happened more recently was that I've got a group of friends and also some of my cousins, and I've been telling them for the last so many years, visit Nepal, it's beautiful, it's great, it's beautiful,
Uh-huh.
it's wonderful. I love it, I love being here. And it
Uh-huh.
somehow just never materialized. You know what happens? People are busy with work, somebody's getting kids, somebody's getting married, somebody's getting transferred, and all of that. And so
Right.
this year we had a very long conversation on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And since everyone was locked in, everyone was like, you know what? The moment this opens, let's just go to Nepal. We all need a break. And I said, no,
Right.
no, now you guys are not invited. Please don't visit Nepal. And sort of that thought played on my head. And I wanted to invite them. Of course, I still want to invite them. I still want them to come. So that
Uh-huh.
thought was playing somewhere on my head. And on the other side, there was this other premise of never visit France. So I sort of
Mm-hmm.
combined both of them, and it was a very random video. I never expected it to do so well. I woke up
Uh-huh.
at 5:30 in the morning. I wrote it. I got ready. 6:37, I started shooting it. By quarter to 8, I was at my friend's place already. So it
Right.
just took me very little time to do that, and I didn't put in so much of thought into it. I thought
Uh-huh.
it's just going to be a video that probably 2, 3,000, 5,000 people would watch. And as of
Mm-hmm.
today, I've got like 26 lakh views on Facebook,
Damn.
another 2 lakh on YouTube, and I've got at
Uh-huh.
least 17 reaction videos on it from all over the world, and people actually watching the video through the reaction videos as well. So my estimate right now is that it's been watched by more than 35, 40 lakh people, which is quite a bit, honestly, which is
That's
which is
like a
a lot.
15% of the Nepalese population.
See, that's a good thing, right? But the better thing is that it's not just people from Nepal. I'm extremely proud that so many of the messages that I got after the video went viral, because my WhatsApp was connected to my Facebook. So I kept on getting a lot of messages, and the messages that were coming to me were not coming from Nepali numbers. So a lot of the
Wow.
messages that I was getting were from Trinidad and Tobago, France, Italy, Sicily. Sicily is a part of Italy, but whatever. Somebody told me they're from Sicily. I got a
Uh-huh.
lot of messages after a point of time from Canada, a lot from UK, but some of the people from UK said, "Oh, I'm from Nepal, but I live in the UK," but whatever. So I
Right.
got messages pretty much from everywhere. I got messages from people like, my boss is a Nepali and he's really nice. Thank you so much for
Uh-huh.
doing this for him. He told me about the video. I got
Uh-huh.
messages from, oh, there's a Nepali family that lives in my community. I live in Malaysia. So I got a lot of non-Nepali people also reaching out to me and asking me all sorts of stuff. Is it safe? Where should I come? When should I come? Can you suggest me which hotels I should stay in? So for me, I think it's making a genuine positive impact because a lot of people have gotten in touch with real feedback and with real tips and all of that. So that's good.
Right. I read one of the comments that said, that single video has done more impact than the Visit 2020 campaign in a whole sum. But we'll keep that aside. Let's not go to the politics end of it. How has life changed since then? Like, what has changed in terms of you have added a lot of followers and people who are getting impact through your works, of course. But how has changed, things changed in a wholesome? Would you like to talk a little bit about it?
So two things have happened primarily. Number one, my phone hasn't stopped ringing, so much so that I had to take another number. So the number that you see now on my Facebook is not directly my number. It's not with me all the time. So my phone
Right.
hasn't stopped ringing. I get random video calls at 12:30 at night, which I never really managed to pick up because who knows who these people are. But
Yeah.
I get a lot of people messaging, a lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of people following my work. So for
Mm-hmm.
me now, the one side has been, just becoming a bit more visual and a bit more visible as a person. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
that has been the kind of outreach that I received. So that has been one of the changes. But on the other hand, there has been a more significant internal change, and that really has been a sense of responsibility. Because now
Right.
people are getting in touch with me saying things like, okay, Mansi, so you made a video on Nepal, come to Bangladesh. So I'm like, okay, but it's not so easy. This is COVID. And there's this
Uh-huh.
whole group of people who are like, I think some sort of like a travel agency or something in Bhutan. And they're like, okay, man, just come to Bhutan. We'll host you. We'll handle everything. Just come and we'll
Mm-hmm.
make videos. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
what's happened is that it's also become a sense of responsibility more than Bhutan, more than Bangladesh. For me, right now, it's a responsibility to work for Nepal for the next few months at
Wow.
least. So I made
Mm-hmm.
this video on Bhaktapur after I did
Right.
Kathmandu, after I did Nepal. I made a video
Mm-hmm.
on Kirtipur, which is releasing this week, and I'm making
Right.
one super jumbo video, which is going to be the first video of next year, which is about, I'm not going to tell you what it's really about, but that's like
Uh-huh.
a vlog. That's not so
Uh-huh.
much a video as it's a vlog. And that's going to be
Okay.
a lot of fun because it's a different thing. It's, of course, Nepal. It's a different thing, but that's the most challenging one we've made so far.
Amazing. Love this. And the impact you're bringing in so visual. What many people know is that you are promoting Nepal, but in the back end, you are building a complete ecosystem trying to empower young people with skills of communication, public speaking. Would you like to talk a little bit about the work that you do to impact lives?
Okay, so this Nepal video just happened to be a video. You know what I mean? It
Right.
just happened to be one of the things I did. And honestly, I
Uh-huh.
never expected that I would be working so constructively in this field. For me,
Uh-huh.
I've been a freelance corporate trainer for the last 9, 10 years. I've also been a
Okay.
motivational speaker for a shorter time than that. And what I primarily do is I get in touch with organizations. In fact, organizations reach out to me and they get me on board to train their employees. So, generally, what I do is I'm a customer service and communication skills provider. So I get into a meeting or I get into like a training setup and I am training people on how to be better communicators, both on camera, off camera, in front of people, in front of clients, and all of that. So I'm a customer service and communication skill trainer. That's what I primarily do. Apart from
Mm-hmm.
this, of course, because one part of this entire training scenario would have to be in the college and in the education bit. So I have been
Right.
doing a lot of work with many different colleges, 17 so far when I counted last. So many different colleges of Nepal wherein I go in, I give trainings, I give workshops. I train their students to be better communicators when it comes to communicating better, even at interviews and things like that. So that is what I do. Apart from this, I'm also a coach. So I work with very, very highly effective individuals. I work with individuals who are mostly older than me, honestly, and I help them understand how to communicate better. I help them how
Uh-huh.
to write speeches for elections. I help them how to sort of speak on stage. I help them how to address board meetings. So I do that as well, a lot of it actually. Yeah.
Amazing. So let's say I was friend Safal, he's damn introvert over there. He wants to talk, he has so many things to share, but he's damn introvert into what he's trying to say. And even if he tries, he gets his fumbles and he's not able to say what he wants to very well. Now that's a very broad question to ask, but would you like to quickly take us through a quick series of tips for anyone who's introvert, who has a message to share, who has something to impact, to build and help people with, or basically simply talk? What could they do to go out there outside their comfort zone to be able to speak like a champion?
Okay, so here's the point. I have two completely different ways of looking at it, and I'm going to tell you what both of these are, and then you and whoever this is can choose what they want to do. Okay, so let's look at it like this. I don't know how to drive a car. I still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 36 almost, and I still don't know how to drive a car. And honestly, I'm not in a hurry to learn. I don't want to learn this. Okay, this is not something that I feel is important enough for me to do and to put in so much of effort because I've tried thrice, I've failed, and it's a very long, complicated story. But the point is, for me, this is not something that's that important. I'm not going to put in any more thought into it because I want to build on my strengths rather than to sort of fuss over at my weaknesses. So that's
Right.
the one way of looking at it. So for a lot of people who are introverts, let's say you choose a field like biotechnology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a field that does not require you to go out there and speak so much to people. Or let's say you choose a field like mathematics or poetry or agricultural research. Now, these fields do not require you to go out there and be such a visible figure. In that case, what you're doing is absolutely right. It's okay. Just continue to do that. Just continue to excel in your field. Just continue to be a champion at whatever it is that you're doing. So, that is something I do suggest. However, if you are in a field which requires you to speak, or if you just want to speak and you feel you're an introvert, you feel you don't have the confidence to speak, you feel you have a message that you want to share, but you're not too sure about how to share it. Now I'm going to give you tips on how you could do that, right? So, first try and understand what you're more comfortable with. I see a lot of people who are very comfortable holding a mic and speaking in front of an audience, yet who don't know how to speak in front of a camera. On the other hand, I see a lot of people who are comfortable in front of the camera and cannot speak in front of an audience because they feel a camera is like a little device, it's just there. It's not really people judging you. They also feel a lot more control when they're speaking on the camera because what happens is, you can always go back and edit, you can always cut out bits that you're not comfortable about, you can do it once, twice, thrice, four times, whatever it is. So, what I always suggest to people like this is if you have a message that you want to share with the world, try and first figure out where you're comfortable doing it. Are you comfortable writing? Are you comfortable speaking face to face in front of an audience? Or are you comfortable on camera? Once you figure out your medium, once you manage to pick up which medium it is that you want to share on, what you should then start doing is you should then start working constructively towards practicing how to make the most of your chosen medium. So, for me personally, my favorite medium would have to be face to face in front of people because for me, the energy I get from people sort of eggs me to do better. For a lot of people take energy from them. When they see a crowd in front of them, they feel depleted. When I see a
Right.
crowd in front of me, I feel energized. So that to me is the sign of being an extrovert. For somebody who gets depleted by the energy that they get from a crowd, I would suggest try writing. I would suggest try thinking of camera. Now, whichever of these mediums you choose, you have to learn how to be good at it. Each of these is a skill, each of these is an art form, and you have to put in the effort to learn and to master the art form if you want to do it well. Now, how do you do that? Number one, figure out your message. So you must have your content clear, exactly what you want to say. And then you have to figure out how you can basically use that message, simplify it, make it personalized so that it reaches the intended audience members. Before
Right.
you get into anything at all, you also need to understand and do a thorough study of who your audience members are. So the moment you have a clear grasp on what kind of people you want this message to reach, you will be able to understand which language to speak in, what level of anecdotes to use, what level of personalization will work, will humor work or not, will visuals work or not. So the moment you have managed to answer these questions for yourself, you know how to encapsulate your content into the right format and you're able to give it in the right way as well. So I would suggest first pick up your format, pick up your medium properly, write your content, make the right format, understand your audience, and then try and sort of put in the flesh and blood, and make it like a compact scenario, make it like a compact speech, make it like a compact piece of content, and then share it. So I think this should be something that should work for anybody really, not just introverts.
Amazing. Loved it. We had, so many insights over there. But there's a question, you mentioned in the initial part, if your work makes you do it or not. Let's say you mentioned about biotechnology and you maybe being in the labs. But isn't it true that everybody has something to share, something to talk about? And isn't life a little boring if you're not talking about what's happening around us, even if it's with two people, with a crowd or whatever that is? Don't you think it's important or essential for people to talk about what they know or what they are or anything of that sort?
So here's my understanding of this, Vaibhav, and how I get this understanding is because my husband is one of those. You know what I mean? For me,
Yeah.
basically, communication is everything. I'm a communicator. I love to speak. I'll speak about things to learn more. I'll speak about things to share more. I will speak because fundamentally, as a person, that's who I am. I like to share. I like to share stories. I like to share whatever it is. On the other hand, my husband is into a completely different field, right? For him, sharing does not necessarily mean sharing through his words. For him, sharing could be sharing through drawings. He's into construction, he's into ideation, he's into engineering, right? For him, his entire field of work is such that for him, sharing does not necessarily mean putting his words to a larger group. his work does the talking for him. So for him, if he asks me, how should I put my words across? I always tell him, choose a medium that's comfortable for you. For him, he'd rather speak to one person one on one and express himself rather than go out there. I do understand there are a lot of people like that who don't really feel comfortable talking. If you do, by all means, go ahead, do it, become a master at the craft. But if you don't enjoy it, don't let that pressurize you and don't let that become an impediment in your life to achieving anything at all. That is what I believe
That's amazing, and I'm sure our audience is gaining insight with this at the same time. You have a choice. I mean, that really makes sense. But as we go ahead, you have a lot to do with soft skills as well, Mansi ma'am. You have been inspiring people and teaching them about soft skills. You have been doing wonderful things with motivating people at the same time. One challenge when people think about motivation is that, oh no, it's temporary, comes and goes, and yeah, that's the common complaint everybody has. The question is how to convert motivation into discipline and how to build that consistency to do one thing that has to be done regularly.
it. Great question. And this is also a question that I find myself asking myself all the time. So, this is a question that has no definite answer. But here's what I can tell you. I do not believe in any kind of a motivational speech which doesn't actually hit the nail on the head and it doesn't make the right impact in the right place. See, Vaibhav, maybe for you, motivation might be, let's say, doing well in your studies, right? You're young. Let's say doing well in your studies, making your career, whatever it is. For somebody else, it might be getting into the House of Parliament. For somebody, motivation might be losing weight. For somebody, motivation might be raising a very healthy child. What is important to understand is for any motivation to last, for any discipline, anything at all to last, number one, it has to come from within. So I cannot tell you whether you're going to have to do well in your studies, and that's not going to motivate you at all, no matter how much money you pay, whichever coach, whichever speaker, whoever it is in the world. No one will motivate you to do something and to stick to it consistently if you yourself do not feel that urge from within. So the number one reason is that. The other thing is, for any motivation to happen, you have to ask yourself, I want to achieve this, but why do I want to achieve this? The moment that why is able to provide some sort of questions to ponder upon, and the moment you're able to come up with an answer to the why that makes you feel motivated and excited, it's going to last. So let's say today I want to make a video on Nepal because I want to travel to Pokhara, right? My why is not strong enough. I've been to Pokhara so many times. It's not a strong enough why. I may not actually do it. But if I want to travel, if I want to make videos on Nepal, because I want 100,000 people more to visit Pokhara every year, so that slowly the ecosystem of that place can change. My why for me becomes stronger, and therefore the chances of me sticking consistently to whatever steps, whatever discipline I have to take, become a lot higher. So for me personally, I feel that the moment I'm able to sort of work with my client and figure out exactly what motivates them and exactly why they want to do whatever it is that they want to do, then the whole process of simplifying the steps, the whole system setup, the whole automation of discipline becomes so much easier. So I believe it always starts with what you want to do and why you want to do it. The moment you're clear about these two things, the chances of you sticking to it, if your why is big enough, if it's a small why, I want to do this because I'm going to get 5,000 rupees extra in a year, is not going to motivate me at all. But the moment it's going to be, say, a bigger number that excites me a bit more, or maybe real impact that changes lives or that changes 1,000 lives, I'm probably going to be a lot more motivated. So I always say any kind of motivation is going to die down. It's never going to be as the euphoria of starting something new is so much higher on the first day. And by the 26th day, you're like, okay, whatever, I'm just doing this. This is just my life. But the point is for you to actually get up there, be there at your work desk every morning at 9:30 without fail, probably Saturdays as well. The only way you'll be able to stick to that kind of a schedule, the only way you'll be able to stick to that kind of discipline is if that why, that carrot that's dangling in front of you, is strong enough and big enough for you to motivate you and nobody else.
Damn, what's your carrot? Get a bigger carrot, my dear champions. I'm sure you are getting wonderful insights from this. And here comes the surprise part. You talked about communication, you talked about inspiration, and you have a surprise section in our show right now. Our audience knows about this, but might be new to you. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to run a different kind of rapid fire round. And here's what's going to be different. I pop around random words to you. These words could be as random as a pencil sharpener and could be as specific as success itself. The challenge is you need to respond to it immediately, and you can use a maximum of 6 words to describe each of this.
Okay, fine, fine.
Sounds
I'm up
cool. You
for
need
it
some
now.
water?
Yeah, see, you know what? I've got two bottles, one hot, one cold. I'm just going to have some and I'm going to be ready. Just give me a sec.
Oh yeah, sure. We did this with world champion of public speaking here in Beverly, 1999, Craig Valentine, and so many amazing speakers in our show from USA, Canada, and all those places. And when we come into this part, it becomes really exciting. Sometimes the titan of the titans also get freezed up sometimes.
Great. I'm looking to see how this goes because
Oh yeah.
I've been doing a lot of rapid fire rounds, and invariably, I have to tell you this, Vaibhav, since we're on this, the rapid
Uh-huh.
fire rounds I find are rapid but not so fiery. Apart from one question that I've always been asked, which country do you prefer, India or Nepal? And for me, that's like, ta-da, that's like the crazy, scary question. But as long
Right.
as you're not going to be asking me that, I'm sorted.
And what if I ask that?
Well, then I'm going to have to give a fiery answer. I'm not too sure about how rapid you will be, but it will
Sounds
definitely be
cool. Let's run into it. On the
a
count of three, two, and one. Money.
currency. It's power. It's flow.
Mannsi Agarwal.
Hardworking, very dedicated, happy.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you, but also happy.
Mirror.
Oh my God, that was a movie called Aina, Jackie Shroff. I don't know why I thought about this. This is so strange. This is like such a 1980s moment. There was
Okay,
a movie called
okay. Camera.
Photography. My best friend. I love my camera.
Pokhara.
Lake, Macha Puchre. And also OR2K. Oh my God. Yeah, let's not talk about food.
Stickers.
I had a sticker collection in class 4.
Okay. And life.
Important.
Wife.
Very important.
Dive.
I was very scared of diving, although I'm a very good swimmer.
Okay, that's cool. Vaibhav Nahata.
Intelligent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, you did amazing right there. We could take it longer, but we're running out of time in today's wonderful episode. We had so many amazing learnings from you, damn amazing insights. I'm sure our champion community has, oh yeah, set of amazing takeaways from this session. Is there any final remark you'd like to give to all the teens, all the youths, all the aspirants of becoming champions about how they can lead their way to the top?
I don't know about, see, there's no formula for how you can get to the top. Here's what I can tell you. If you're genuinely interested in doing something, pursue it relentlessly. There's going to be 1,000 impediments. There's going to be 1,000 problems. There's going to be 1,000 potholes on your way. But you know what? It's those potholes that give you the strength to persist and to do better. So for me, let's say this is just an observation. After my video became viral, a very close friend of mine who I know for the last 17, 18 years, he just sends me a message. Hi, congratulations on becoming an overnight star after 14 years of struggle and success, which is exactly what is the truth. If you're going to be an overnight star because one video went viral, it's not going to last. But if you have backed up whatever it is that you're doing with a lot of troubles and a lot of pitfalls and a lot of success and failures, you're going to be able to hopefully sustain it longer. So keep working, keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, keep working every single day without fail, and you're definitely going to find yourself on the top sometime.
Amazing. Just to add up to that, I recently had, when I was going through my reading schedule, I just found out, when we talk about overnight success, it is more like a baby shower than an arranged marriage. You know it's coming because you have been putting that effort, it's within you. And even you celebrate the baby shower over there with amazing things happening, there's the best part yet to come.
Absolutely. I love that analogy because baby shower is so true. It's like after 8 months of putting in whatever you have to, does it happen? This,
Right.
of course, took me around 10, 12 years, but I
Yeah.
totally, totally believe it because overnight success is not a concept I believe in at all.
Oh yeah. Ritesh Agrawal once said, it takes 6 years to be an overnight success, and that's so true. And with the baby shower anecdote for the 8 months, people just look into it out, but the celebration comes after 8 months, and the real celebration comes after the ninth month. And once the baby is born, all the amazing things are happening. It happens every now and then, right? Well, That was amazing set of learnings from you. Our audience must be like, oh yeah, that's a bunch of amazing things right there. Thank you so much for joining today's wonderful episode, Mansi ma'am. Thank you so much for joining, the handsome and beautiful people watching this. I'm so excited to see you next week only on Being Champions with Vaibhav Nahata.